Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to the Nap Genetic Podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandez and...
I'm Chris Warner, darling. Hello.
Kiss, kiss, love. We're about to review the fashion show from season 8 of Laverne and Shirley, directed by Tom Trbojevic and written by Roger Garrett, Al Eichmann, and Mark Slotkin. It's a lot of old writers coming back to the fold here.
Yeah, they all returned from previous episodes. It's the first time we've seen them all credited on a single episode together, actually, like this.
It's really interesting. I wonder if they had to all really work close together to pound out this episode, because it was supposed to be a big, important, pivotal turning point in Laverne's life.
That's a possibility.
Which it doesn't end up being due to sad circumstances.
Yeah, which we'll get into, yeah.
We'll get to, yeah, sadly. And here's what the episode's about. The first relationship with fashion photographer Mike Bailey seems to be going swimmingly, even though she hasn't learned how to cook yet, and neither of them are really enjoying their running-based dates. Even Frank approves of them, though he's not Italian. Unfortunately, there's one sticking point. His flirtation and too close relationships with his models, which leaves Laverne feeling insecure. Deciding to find out what's going on, she attends one of Mike's gigs and finds herself walking the runway in an elaborate hat. Will Mike be amused, or is Laverne stuck in yet another romance destined for Splitsville? What do you think of this one?
God damn, that was cute.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's a cute little episode.
I didn't love this one when I first watched it, but man, the second viewing, I really got to focus on Larry Breeding's performance as Mike.
Yeah.
And man, it's good. It's so...
He had really solid, good comedy chops. He would have been great in the sitcom era.
Oh, totally.
And managed to live.
He would have also been good in those movies like After Hours or, Brat, kind of like older Brat Pack kind of movies. And I could see him being the guy that like does a lot of sitcoms and then actually like, especially with how subtle his delivery is in this episode, he goes on like in the 90s to get like a really cool gig of like being on like a detective show or a good, a good cop show episode, or being in a movie. This may sound kind of weird, but I could see this Larry Breeding guy in like Jack Ryan movies,
It worked. It might have worked.
It
might have worked. It might have worked because he has talent. He has chops. He reminds me of Mark Lynn Baker in the looks department.
Mm-hmm.
But in the performance department, he has a different sort of calm, playful, sarcastic edge. And you can tell why he and Penny got along in real life, why they were dating at the time. And man, you can tell they were dating at the time because the physical chemistry is pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah.
In this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this episode, I believe, was taken out of the order. It was supposed to be earlier in the season. It was supposed to be one of multiple episodes in which Laverne dates Mike because the intended end game was Laverne being with Mike while Shirley was supposed to end up with Walter. But that didn't work out for tragic reasons because Larry Breeding passed away in an automobile accident just after they filmed this episode. I think a couple of weeks afterwards.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, my notes even say it was the end of a rising star's career. Because
yeah, it is.
He'd shown up on this show a few times, and he'd done some TV show performances that I think had gotten him some really good notice, and he had connections with people. Clearly, him and Angelica Houston really like playing off each other really well, like both in this episode and Affair to Forget, and. It's really sad that it doesn't, we don't get to have more of him because I think he also, to this episode, what my mother mentioned, kind of pointed out, and I think this is very true. This is like the first relationship that feels like it can be permanent, where Laverne feels really safe. Where even like that line, there's that line exchange about the wine. She says, "Are you going to try to get me drunk and take advantage of me?" And he goes, "Do I look like the kind of person that would do that?" And she goes, "You'd better." And that is a safe relationship to make those kind of remarks in, given Laverne's history.
Yeah, very much so. He is probably one of my favorite boyfriends for her that she's actually into, besides Norman. It's like my top two for her are him and Norman.
Really?
Those are the relationships
Not even Randy?
Randy, we don't get to know for long enough.
Okay.
It's very insta-love. We hear that they're in love. We see that they're very infatuated with each other, but we don't get to know them for long enough. These two characters, at least we know for multiple episodes and get to know better.
It's good. Okay, good point. But, okay.
Yeah.
So them jogging, I love the whole thing about how she beat him back home because she took the bus, and he goes, "I know, I had to run 8 blocks to catch it."
So ridiculous. I'd say Laverne's pretzeling yourself, but Mike's doing the same thing. They both hate what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
They're probably gonna give this up real quickly
yeah.
because they're not happy.
I love his line. Why don't we rent a car? No sense overdoing it.
Yeah, that's what's overdoing it. Guess you get the runners-up trophy. Lots of chemistry, lots of cutie, flirty, kissy.
Yep, and her in those shorts and him in those sweatpants.
Yeah, there you go. And him getting on the rug and posing.
Yeah, like a little baby. That was very cute.
Male model time. Come on, get it up there.
Yep.
Show that underwear, Laverne.
God. I don't know how to do things, and they don't know how to sweat.
Oh, I love that. And enter poor Frank, who thinks his daughter's about to be murdered.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. I was in the park. I saw this guy chasing you. We were just jogging. I love he looks at Mike and goes, it's like, do me a favor next time. Walk her. I'm too old to be chasing buses.
For once, I can't blame Frank at all.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't his fault this time.
Well, I'm just glad that Frank doesn't have a concealed carry license at this point, because imagine him doing the Dirty Harry where, it's like you shot that man. It's like, well, when I see a naked man chasing after a woman with a butcher's knife and a heart on, I don't think he's collected with the Red Cross.
I love that Frank approves of this relationship.
Yeah.
And,
he called you honey. Oh, yeah. That part. Oh.
Oh, sweet.
That was so cute.
Aren't you gonna ask me if he's Italian?
I don't care no more.
And then she just looks pained at the whole situation. Oh God, that was adorable and precious. I really enjoyed that part. Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. And so we established Mike. He's this photographer. Yeah. He photographs all these models. And then I love spending these Saturday mornings together, which made me almost wonder about a More Than Friends callback. It was a little...
Yeah. Kind of reminds me, at least they're not eating locks and playing baseball, so hey.
Yep. But anyway, we then transition pretty quickly after this. I will say I love Mike getting her to Vogue until she gets so loose she flops, and then how she turns it around on him and grabs his camera. That is just adorable. But we then get to the dinner date, and she's back in her checkered dress. That was nice.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She very much is, and that's really cute.
Lord, I haven't
praise the God. Yeah.
I haven't called on you in quite a while.
Just BS.
Yeah.
Let's rush these out of order. Yeah. Laverne, you just got out of a convent was my note.
Yeah. Let him like me and let him like my chicken. And if it can only be one, forget the chicken. The bit that's KFC and they gave her 3 legs. I'll just tell him one's a neck.
Yeah. It's cute. It's cute.
And then it's him doing the fancy dance, and they're so cute it's like, how was your day? How was your day? It's very Linda and Bob. Or I guess maybe more Linda, but with, more activity.
And of course, we get the extremely phallic symbolism of that wine bottle.
Yeah, and slowly twisting it with the corkscrew, and God, it's like, this could take a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Filthy show. Filthy.
What is funny, though, is when there's the ding-dong of the doorbell, my mom actually called that, go away, before Laverne even said it, and she got this huge laugh afterward.
Oh, that's great. Your mom was shipping it, too. There you go.
At the very least, a little bit, yeah. I think she just loved how sweet and romantic they were together.
I think that's sweet. It's really cute. Enter Joanna Kearns, future mom of Growing Pains. In a few years after this. Indeed.
Yep.
Yes.
I still feel sorry for her about the that mean old awful makeup man saying she can't wear the blue that she likes.
She wants to wear the blue and look distinctive, darling. It's not fair. What are you doing here, darling? And Laverne plans on committing homicide.
Yep.
How deeply sunk is that cork that it takes forever for them to pull it off?
That's a good question. Now, every time I've tried to uncork something, and I've had to do this a couple times, some of those can get in pretty tight. One took me a while, and it kept chipping on the way out. So it was all it could take a bit.
I've got one of those cork uncorkers that you put it on the other side and then you pull it up.
Yes.
I got one of those.
I love those.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have lots of fancy kitchen gadgets. That's my thing.
Yeah. No, I've used, that was the one time I used it that it was actually, it was good. It was easy.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there you
because
go.
anyway,
Pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. And I don't normally use wine for anything other than stews. Making stew last time I used them. So that's me.
God. Anyway, though, so Joanna as Monique, the little fussy little baby, and he's having to baby her. God, I have so much sympathy for him dealing with,
Dramatic activist.
with yeah, just talent. When talent is a pain like that,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Yep, and he knows exactly what to say, and Laverne is jealous because she's insecure. This is actually a good characteristic callback show. Keep doing more of this, please.
Yep, this will be
Keep
nice.
doing more of this.
But isn't he the creme de la creme?
Oh, creme de la creme. Laverne's just imagining plunging that corkscrew right into her jugular. And
Yeah, well, listen, Friday the 14th Part 4 was coming out in a couple of years, so, you know.
It's very cute and very funny, and Laverne's pretending she's okay with all of it. Okay, Lord, it's your turn.
Yeah,
I got bad news. The chicken's dead. I know, I killed it.
that's great. And big audience laugh from her dropping the chicken and then putting it back on the plate anyway.
Yeah, she got away with it, too.
I also love that the line when he's able to kind of smooth things over for the moment and get back to the dinner, and he, you know, smooches her up and smooths it all over, and she goes, "You ever sell swampland in New Jersey?"
So good.
And
such a nice little
I
line.
wish that she had said, as a callback to, how do you say "Are you dead" in German, by
Yeah.
able to say, you know, have you ever thought of selling farmland at the bottom of Lake Michigan?
Oh, that would have been a nice callback. But though we do get a nice callback when she tries to say she's Miss Milwaukee
That's
while
true.
entering the airline thing.
That's true.
Uh,
But yeah. Anyway, so he's got to go. Someone's left the show. Everything, you know, is going off and wrong.
Yeah.
And then we just get to her going to the show. We just do the nice quick
Yep.
transition. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yep. I don't believe that Mike would get this huge marquee for what's just basically an industry thing.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird, very odd. Cities of Love, Brotherly, and the Other Kind. I'm sure she's great at the
Yeah,
Other
she looks
Kind.
real good at the other kind. Yeah.
Oh, vicious.
And I also love the Mr. Dresner conversation. It's like, it's going to put TransUnion, Airlines on the map. It's like, we're already on the map. It's just nobody's in there. And God, also, Mr.
guy
Dresner is
put-
such...
Yes, the guy playing Mr. Dresner is so great. I love him.
He's
so
so
funny.
great. He plays this creep so well. I have notes for him. That is Michael Pataki. He was another TV veteran who had been getting gigs since the late 50s to an extent I will not be listing everything.
Wow.
But he was another fellow who dropped in on Mission Impossible and Star Trek before getting a little brush with fame. And Easy Rider, he was one of the mimes.
Wow.
He was a regular of Grindhouse Pictures, as well as like Return of Count Yorga, Dead and Buried. He ends up in Remo Williams, Halloween 4, and The Little Cigars, and Pink
Cool.
Angels. Pink Angels.
Angels.
Yes, that one.
Wow.
Which, by the way, we're recording this on June 2nd. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride. We are one of you, and you are one of us.
But
Gabba gabba.
but anywho, yes, he is great in this episode. He
Yes.
actually had been in the Marshallverse before. He was Myron Malachi in Happy Days for 3 episodes.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
I highly recommend anyone check out his credits because the dude was prolific up to his passing in 2010.
Oh, wow.
He even directed a couple of films. He directed a sex comedy version of Cinderella in the horror movie Mansion of the Doomed. So yeah.
Cool. Okay,
So
that's cool.
all those layers, like that adds to
It
this
does.
guy's performance here as Mr.
Yes.
Dresner.
Yes, because he's living every inch of this performance. He really is.
God, is he? Yeah. I mean, my mom scowled at the Trump-esque thing where he wants into the dressing room, but yeah.
Yeah. They love it.
Ugh. How cute is Laverne with the orange feather boa that pisses off Monique, and she's got it sticking out of the back of her sweater like a
Adorable.
tail? How cute! It's so cute.
Adorable. Your Michael is such a cad.
But anyway, then we get to the actual show itself. This whole sequence is definitely one of the better pieces of like physical comedy set pieces that we've gotten for season 8. This felt very much in like the season 2, season 3 vein,
Yes,
in a
yes,
sense.
yes. There's a good sense of physical comedy. The way it's timed and directed is excellent. Brazilians with its Marty. Craw time.
Right, with the little like she hasn't flipped the paper. Oh yeah.
Yep,
Did you
yep.
recognize the speaker, by the way, the gal who
No, I
hosts?
didn't.
Okay, I didn't recognize her either, but that is Kit McDonough
Oh,
as the speaker, another longtime working actor, and is still even active to 2020. But the
awesome.
main trivia here is we saw her in Airport 59. She was
No
Julie, the flight attendant who was
way.
way in over her head.
Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Don't tread on me, fly on me. She gets a lot of great
Oh
lines.
my gosh, yes.
Uh,
Quick trivia note, she later worked on an episode of Valerie that was directed by Howard Storm and written by Judy Pioli. I have a
oh,
feeling,
awesome.
my suspicion is she was friends with Ronnie or one of the others, because she
Possibly.
is all over the place in martial stuff in the 70s.
Yep, quite possible. Very much quite possible.
Yep.
You go out there and put on a good show. All you'll do, we'll do what Transfusion does this voyage. You'll be lost without trace, and we won't care.
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah. Things go south very fast, which
Yes,
is,
it does.
I think, I love that they also show that even if this show had gone off without a hitch, it would have still been a disaster.
Pretty
And
much.
the fact that it's a comedic disaster makes it a lot more interesting, because that whole, like, when I saw the Big Apple hat, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
That is some great costume design. That is some fun
And
costume design.
poor Mike getting uncomfortable crouching on that, even on that shag carpeting, but, whoo boy. And the Liberty Bell with like the thing I mean, the bell ringer looks like a dildo. Like, come on.
Ah, yes, it does. And it's great. And it's amazing. The Venice outfit really is pretty nice, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah, totally. Actually, I think her Liberty Bell outfit that Laverne wears when she comes out as the Liberty Bell for Miss Philadelphia, that's one of her outfits from the 4th annual Shots talent show, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is the patriotic one, the Revolutionary War one.
Right, exactly. And then, oh, hi, Angelica Houston.
Yeah, hi, Angelica Houston. She's very good in this too, as well. She
Yeah,
does a very good
it is
job.
so cute. Honey, take your own picture. Here, just press that button. And she just can't stop taking pictures of herself. That
Yep,
was amazing.
she has a lot of fun. And of course, poor Mike and Laverne have their questioning moment of, is this relationship worth it? Laverne decides to save him.
Right, yeah. It's like, Lord, since we didn't eat the chicken, can I ask you one more favor? And I love by the time that Laverne saves the day coming out as Miss Venice with the gondola on her head, the speaker is completely smashed.
Yep.
And she's got like 3 glasses of wine and is just and bopping around. Yeah. And then eventually, and because of the fact that everyone gets conked out and Dresner gets bonked and and Mike gets bonked and everything, it's like, Venice, the place people don't go to sleep until they have to.
So good. I love Laverne. Oh, I love Laverne in this. And of course, that hat goes right in the sexist pig's eye, and it's really great.
Yes.
The melodramatic faint, though, is so good.
Oh, yeah. No, that's good. But yeah, and so, she rushes home after the show. Kids in the bus calling her gondola head.
Oh, gosh.
And I love this whole conversation that comes in at the end with the two of them.
So do I. It's adult, very grown up.
It's very adult, and their line delivery when he says, he says, "You're the real thing," which is number one. Which I hate that they put one of those tracks the way that you really got to see that in like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They did that a bunch.
Yeah. Full House.
Full House too, yeah. And I hated that in here because it's like, you can tell the reason they're so quiet is because they're like, it's so romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Larry's amazing in this episode, and Laverne having to admit that she's she's jealous. My mother actually commented, that she loved how Mike has got her number so good.
He does. He really does. It's great.
And the whole reveal that the travel agents thought it was all part of the show and they loved it and actually went over well. And
those are business kisses.
It's exactly because and I think what cements this whole thing, because you're right, the business kisses, the whole because God, it's like Michael, I don't like this. Michael, do that for me. And you had it up to here with these with their excuses and their whining and their this and their that and their whole diva thing, and the culmination of it where she goes, "You did good." And he goes, "No.
We did good." Oh.
Bingo. That just,
Beautiful. My heart.
Yeah.
My heart. That's very sweet. It's a very nice launching pad that will tragically, due to nobody's fault, go nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so sad that it goes nowhere. And it's just fate that made it go nowhere. It's nobody's fault at all, because it's really nice. It's really nice. And it's really sweet. It's one of the first mature relationships Laverne's ever had.
Exactly.
That makes sense for her. It's one of the first ones where she feels like a grown-up doing grown-up stuff, even though she's kind of having, she's doing her adjuster stuff. She
Yeah.
thinks there's no way in hell she can ever be as good or as attractive as these models, or even as rich as these models. So she's just going, I'll shift the stuff. So we get a tag scene that has nothing to do with anything.
And it's, yeah,
Okay, I disagree with this tag scene because Frank was the businessman of the year in Milwaukee.
mm-hmm.
He was the businessman of the year. He was very ethical. He ran a pizza joint where he was doing his best to make good pizza.
Mm-hmm.
People liked his pizza. That's why they were going to the pizza bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And here he's basically running the kind of scheme that you would see Barf run in You Can't Do It on Television.
Yeah, right.
And he's doing something that somebody in Married with Children would do. That's the kind of thing he's doing here. It doesn't feel like something Frank would do, because it's basically waltzing on everybody's business doing this.
It's pretty pretty shitty.
It is shitty. It's very out of character too.
Yeah, and like the whole thing is like, I'll be dead, and then you'll have to deal with it. And it's like, that's
God,
no, I'm not.
Frank.
I'm not into this.
No,
No, thank
me
you.
either. Me either. In fact, that he actually went so far as to do the math to cheat people. This just doesn't feel like him. It doesn't feel like him at all.
Mm-mm.
And it's crappy, and I don't enjoy it.
It is not good on its own. It's not good in the context of who Pop is as a character, and it's just it's a nothing burger of a scene. It's boring. It doesn't say anything or mean anything.
Yep, exactly. 100% exactly. It actually devilizes this character. They've forgotten who Frank is in a way, even though they're struggling to recapture who he was by having him like go back to pizza and having him say that, no, I don't like working for a chain. I don't like pushing out this bland corporatized food. I want to go back to constructing pizzas and junk.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah. But that is season 8 in a nutshell. It's a push pull of change and stagnation that ends up being just kind of a big mess because of that. But we'll get to that, and once also I've had more time to actually mentally process things. I had to also watch this batch of 5 episodes we're recording tonight in one pass, and my brain is hurting from what's coming up next week. So.
Oh yeah. I do believe it. I'm out of notes. Is it ranking time?
So I've got the behind the scenes in front of the camera things.
Go for it.
So the writers, we have Al Idekman, Roger Garrett, Mark Sotkin. And Roger Garrett had worked on a script in season 2, then he popped back in as a script consultant on a lot of season 5, as well as also penning White of the Fireman and Fat City Holiday. He was responsible for Born Too Late, Not at the Awards, Life as the Tarbets, and Hellman Weekend. So he's known mostly to be a Lenny Squiggy-centric writer on the show in terms of credits. Which does make me wonder if this tag scene was something meant for the boys, like the boys were going to pitch this to Frank, and that got rewritten for whatever reason.
I could see that.
Yeah, Garrett also was credited as writer on Mummy's Bride earlier this season, and will come back once more for another Squiggy Giggy with How's Your Sister.
Squiggy Giggy, I love it.
Al Idekman had actually started as a co-producer on the show's first season, then was getting scripts made in season 4, and has worked on it since then. Now, this year he finds himself landing more in the script consultant role. Now, this is his last credit for the series, unfortunately, given that he did contribute some of the really high marks, such as Dating Game, Upstairs, Downstairs, Who's Papa, and To Tell the Truth. So after this, he's going to jump around a few different things, such as Jefferson's, It's Your Move, and actually, I forgot about this until I reread this note, Married with Children.
Oh, Married with Children's starting to haunt this podcast out. Some of you went on to be involved in the children.
Yeah, multiple folks from seasons 2 and 3, I believe, did, so...
Yep. Cindy Beagle, for sure.
Right. As for Mark Sotkin, as much as I give him crap,
Michael was almost Al Bundy, but he turned it down.
That's right, yeah. So Mark Sotkin, as much as I give him a lot of flack, I mean, he was a producer and writer on Laverne show for quite a while by this point. He actually was a story editor on a few classics in season 2. Wrote a lot of the gems or at least is credited for gems in season 3 and 4. This is actually his final episode as writer on the show credit-wise. He had already moved into being a supervising producer, having served as one in season 4, and then also for seasons 7 and 8. Now, his future ahead of this holds Golden Girls, the Gary Shandling Show 25th Anniversary Special with director Tom Turbovic and other alums from the show, 27 episodes of It's a Living, and a whole lot more. Now, his most recent project was a producer and writer on The Decision, a short film from 2015. He's also active on Twitter. He's active sometimes on Twitter. I know he kind of like hops on and off just because he gets kind of fed up with stuff. And yeah, he seems... I can understand, given some of the stuff that some of the shows he's worked on and some of the experiences he's had in his life, your
Yeah.
patience kind of wears thin after when you get older. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think we all do.
I do also have some trivia today for Tom Turbovic. I probably have mentioned this before, but Turbovic was indeed the main director of the Dinosaurs TV show in the 1990s. That does
Ah.
that does mean the final episode of Dinosaurs.
Oh man, his name is cemented in legend forever.
Exactly.
Forever and ever.
We also have a couple of actor notes. Robert Acaro as the guard. This is his second, actually, and final appearance on the show. He popped up last season in Life is the Tar Pits. I believe he was one of the guys that was harassing, one of the harassing guys at the Tar Pits Park, I believe.
Ah.
His time as an actor back in the 80s kind of stops with these two appearances and then a couple of Days of Our Lives episodes. He actually shows up in other places, including an episode of Fringe and an episode of Katie Keene in 2020.
Oh. Katie Keene. I watched the whole series. That was fun, and it sadly died an early death. I enjoyed it very much.
Miss Rio G. Gennaro was played by Mary Watson. At the start of her own career in TV, she pops up in various shows, sitcoms, and coincidentally in projects that tied to Laverne and Shirley, including an episode of Hot Properties that was directed by Jeff Melman, who was a producer on this season. She was also in an episode of Fresh Prince, which, as we've mentioned before, multiple alums from the show worked on. There doesn't seem to be any other connections other than that for that particular episode. But she was also seen regularly in the 1988 season of Santa Barbara and the first 3 series of MathNet in the 1980s.
MathNet! MathNet! My childhood!
And lastly, I want to mention about Joanna Kearns. This is very cool. So obviously, big TV star in the 80s, but in the 70s, she was in like Ape, episode of Rhoda,
Yes.
Starsky and Hutch, Love Boat, of course. She even has a small role in Michael Crichton's Coma, which is a personal favorite of 70s science fiction for me.
Aw.
This ends up becoming a way for her to branch out, not just to writing an episode for Growing Pains, but directing an episode in the 7th season before turning to directing episodes of The Mommies, Suddenly Susan,
Yep.
Remember When, The Clueless Show, Beggars and Choosers, Felicity, Dawson's Creek, Army Wives, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Fuller House, and even 3 episodes of The New Night Court.
Cool. So she's still a director, and she's director for Night Court now.
Yep.
The new Night Court is amazing, by the way, y'all. Watch it. If you haven't watched
She
it
is
yet.
also a cancer survivor. She is still kicking
Wow.
ass now under her maiden name of Joanna de Verona. The Kearns that she was
Cool.
married to, she divorced in 85, so she took this. It kept the name for a while.
Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. If it works, it works. If it works, it works. That's cool.
All right, ranking
Super cool.
time.
Yeah. This is a high 8 for me. This is actually funny.
Yeah, I think
The
yeah.
episode's funny. The romance is pleasant. It is a respite for the show in a season that is sometimes tough to get through. It really works.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think a high 8. If it had been able to kind of continue with this character, it probably would have ranked even higher. And especially if they had been able to shoot like an episode before this that kind of more better establishes their relationship. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, so high 8. I think we're good. That covers everything for today then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All
It
right.
does.
Okay, so we'll have a quick word from our sponsor and then we'll come back and give you some more information about what's coming up next because we got to get this done in a hurry. We're a little bit short on time.
Oh.
All right. Thank you again, everybody, so much for joining us for Night After Night. And if you'd like to know more, you can find us at Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, Patreon, or YouTube, or Night After Night PC on Twitter. And my darling, I don't know why, but I keep hearing the word nope go through my mind about what's coming up next. It's like a premonition.
Rat-a-tat. 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 A chimpanzee and the spinners combine to explain why Frank's so mad at womankind and he nails to shut the ladies' room door at Cowboy Bill's. This is short on time.
Nope. I don't like the sound of that. Nope. Mm-mm.
Rat-a-tat.
Rat-a-tat.
Rat-a-tat. Bye, y'all. And if you want to wear a gondola on your head, be sure that it's under the clearance limit for every bridge in your city. You don't want to end up decapitated. Bye, y'all.
That got wonderfully dark. I like it.